Ready for bird lady? I'm like a bird.
Gives a whole new meaning to the song.
Literally.
Hi, my name is Asa. I am a member of the DID system, and I'm also a bearded vulture Therian. I have two questions. One is for other Therians, specifically bird Therians, and the other question is for other systems who have Therian systems.
Stop it.
Question for other bird.
What is a Therian person? It means a person who identifies integrally as a non-human being, such as wolf. Okay. Oh, it's like the wolf person that Matt Walsh did a video on.
I just don't understand how you can identify as something that's not a human when factually, biologically, and every other word you want to use, you are a human.
You're not even the same species. It's bad enough when you identify as the wrong gender. Now you're identifying as the wrong species. Like, where does this end? This has to be a joke. It has, but then it was on What is a Woman. There was a Therian on What is a Woman.
So can I be like, I identify as a spatula and people have to affirm that?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if we're just saying whatever we want to say now, then I can identify as that basket.
I identify as a rose.
A flower.
Yeah. It's a living thing.
I like pulling at roses. Pricking them. I watched this video of this black guy. It turned out to be satire. I was praying that it wasn't because it was hilarious. Basically, this guy that identified as a deer and hunters shot him.
Oh, what?
And the guy was like, well, you got the full deer experience. But it turned out to be satire. I was so disappointed.
So first question for other bird Therians, what are some things you do that help you feel more connected to your stereotype? Like, I know that for people whose stereotypes are four-legged, they can do quadruped.
What am I listening to? What am I listening to? Because none of us humans are four-legged.
Where are her parents? Where's her parents? Like, the parents have failed. I'm sorry. Like, we got to put blame somewhere. The parents have failed.
I found out some information yesterday.
About Therians?
No. I found out that I don't know what country it was, but in a particular country, it's normal for people, I think it was specifically men, to have sex with donkeys or something like that. Like, it's just a common thing. Like, everyone does it.
Have sex with donkeys?
Yeah.
Everyone does it?
Within that country and culture, yeah. Like, it's normal.
Okay.
I wouldn't say everyone, but, like, it's a,
Country, the FBI is going to look at my search history now. Country where it is normal to have sex with donkeys.
Yeah. Colombia.
No, hold on. It's not Colombia. It's the Colombian coast. Okay, let's not get ourselves shot.
Oh,
the poor donkey.
no.
Tierra Baja, Cartagena, Colombia. Oh, no. Farmers on the outskirts of a pretty Colombian coastal town are supplementing their income by allowing locals to have sex with donkeys. Locals claim it is a harmless tradition.
Yeah, so it's a tradition in their country.
In one farm, come donkey brothel. Oh my lord. Tierra Baja on the outskirts of Cartagena. Carlos, 25, explained how normal the practice was and that he and his friends regularly sleep with donkeys. It's part of our development. The painter/decorator said, speaking in a field where locals in the town with a population of just 1,000 regularly sleep with the animals. I first did it when I was 13 and do it pretty much every week like most of my friends.
13 as well.
Rather than a fetish that has got out of hand, the tradition can trace its history back generations and even appears in the literature of renowned Colombian writer and Nobel Prize winner Gabriel Garcia Marquez. It is seen as a substitute for masturbation by the men who claim that while it is not preferable to a woman, it is a very different sensation. Condoms are discouraged as they may irritate the donkeys which are not used to latex. Carlos insists that the donkeys are healthy and there is no need for protection. When we were younger, we often had to use a box to stand on so we could reach, he adds, describing in depth how the act took place standing up rather than on top of the animal in the privacy of an open field backing onto the dusty streets of the coastal town. Cartagena is a beautiful colonial town on Colombia's coast, home to many English backpackers keen to learn Spanish and swim in its turquoise. I was getting there. Caribbean waters. There is no shame seen in the act by those on its outskirts, with not one person raising a weary eye or questioning the reporter's sanity during the investigation. The farmer selling sex with the donkeys laughed off the criticism. Activists at the RSPCA were horrified. The RSPCA firmly believes that animals should be treated with respect and dignity, and that bestiality is the ultimate desecration of the relationship between humans and animals. The society is opposed to the infliction of pain, suffering, and distress of the killing of any animal in the name of entertainment.
Animals can't consent, BTW.
No, this apparently is a real thing. There's even a video on YouTube called "The Town Where Men Lose Their Virginity to Donkeys." Well, look, you learn something new every day. Yep. That was not on my bingo card for today, but here we are.
And that helps them a lot. But obviously that's not applicable to bird therians. I also want to clarify for anyone who doesn't know, quadrobics does not automatically equal therians. People can do quadrobics and not be a therian. So that's my first question, how to feel more connected to bird stereotypes. And second question is for systems with therian alters. Do these alters appear human in our world, or do they appear as their stereotype in our world? Or is it kind of a combo situation? Like we have someone in our system who is both a guy and a vulture at the same time. We don't consider him a therian because he doesn't consider himself a therian. He just kind of exists as both of those things at once. Is that how therian alters work in you guys' systems? Just very curious about how other people experience this kind of thing.
What's quadrobics?
You're asking the wrong person.
We've got to do a lot of research on these things. There's a whole new world. Quadrobics, also known as quads, is a form of sport whereas oneself will perform tricks such as walking, running, jumping, trotting on all four legs. Oh, it's those. Okay, we've seen them like running through the fields, pretending to be horses.
I have never seen that before.
I've seen it, unfortunately. And what I was going to say is that I would tell this girl to go outside and touch grass, but that might be the problem. She might need to stay indoor and get back in tune with reality. I don't. So she said that there's they have their system. We heard about those before, the DID thing, right? Remember that whole TikTok thing was going on where it was like, I have multiple personalities, whatever. And she's saying there's a man that exists inside her or inside someone that is both man and vulture. Honestly, I think that this girl read one too many Spider-Man comics and now she's just taking characters from the comic and pretending like they exist in her. Because there's a character called the Vulture, which is just a man dressed up in a vulture costume. That's what's happened here. What's happened is these stupid kids have gone on TikTok. They've picked it up from somewhere. It's like me saying, "Oh, there's a dude that lives inside of me." Pause. And he is both. Whoa. He is both. He's on a motorbike and he's got a flaming skull. People are gonna be like, "Oh, this guy's been reading Ghost Rider comics." Now, that's all that's happening here. They're just confused children looking for attention, and then you've got other confused children validating it. The problem is that when there's adults validating this bullshit.
That's what I think is the biggest issue. How have we gotten to a time where this is being accepted, normalized, and no one is actually giving out a helping hand to these people? Like, we live on Earth. You're a human being. You're not an animal. You will never be an animal. You can't identify as one. And let's get you some help.
Well, I mean, we are animals.
Are we going to have this conversation?
I know what you mean.
Human.
Yeah, we're
You are a human being.
You're not a Therian.
Because if you're a Therian, you're not going to be able to even talk to human beings. You're not going to be able to go and eat some worms. Go and eat some worms and tell me how you get on. No, go and eat some worms
advise people.
And tell me how you get on. Live off worms for the rest of your life and seeds and bread. Well, not bread because you probably could survive off that. But go and live off worms if you want to be a bird and tell me how you get on and see how long it would take until you cave and want to start eating human food.
Well, I'm not going to advise anyone that's mentally ill to go outside and start digging up mud and eating worms. The problem here is that these people are mentally ill. They are mentally challenged. Anyone that thinks that somebody that is saying, "Oh, I identify as a bird," is not mentally ill is also mentally ill. So I think that there needs to be more emphasis put on like helping these people, taking videos down like that, like flagging them, not allowing them to spread. But I do think the pendulum is swinging, you know. I think there's more pushback more recently against a lot of this BS. There's more people going, we're not doing this anymore. Like, fun and games are over. We're not going to be affirming whatever BS. You know, I uploaded a video on my gaming channel and someone commented inside in the comment section. They were like, by the way, this individual's pronouns are they, them. I was like, I'm not like, don't comment on my videos telling me what pronouns to use. I'm not doing that. You can use whatever pronouns you want. I am not doing it though.
Imagine this person sending you an email though, and at the bottom of the email it has the pronouns bone / xe.
Bone / oh, is that one's pronouns?
Yeah.
What is it? What does the bone mean?
You're asking the wrong person. Well, in the video, she had they,
Z,
xe, bone, brittle.
Well, go to the gym if you're brittle, you idiot. It could never be my kid. It could never be. I would help them. I wouldn't just be like, okay, let's affirm this. Let's send them down this road of destruction.
I don't know where my...
Yeah, well, Nelly Furtado called it 20 years ago.
Yep.
So here we are. Now there's people identifying as birds.
That's it. Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. Though it's me because I'm fly.
Do you know, if they shoot her, if hunters shoot her, because she identifies as a bird,
Yeah.
they can't get done for murder, right?
Where is the line drawn? Where is the line drawn?
That's actually, I do want to know that. If you want to clip that part, go right ahead and send it to someone and find out. If you identify as a bird and you get shot down by hunters, because she didn't say which bird she was. She identifies as an eagle. I don't think you're allowed to kill eagles. But I'm pretty sure there's certain birds you can shoot at. Let's say that she's that bird. If the hunters shoot at her, can they get in trouble? Honestly, I want to know.
Yeah, I want to know as well. But you know what's funny about it as well? It's now taking the British saying, "This is my bird," to like, do you know what I mean? It's now taking that to a whole new level. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
literally.
going to see my bird later. He's literally going to see his bird.
Well, what I don't understand is what parameters does she identify as a bird? Like, does she jump out of trees? What do you lay eggs?
Yeah, does she sit in her house just going like chirp chirp, chirp chirp?
I would smack.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's if you're feeling like a bird, surely you behave like one.
Yeah. Do you have a nest in your house?
Comment reads, funny how all your quote-unquote alters are leftists that announce their pronouns when that statistically doesn't represent the population. Before I go into properly answering this or talking about this, I am curious, what gave you the idea that alters in a system tend to match up with general population statistics? I mean, even just looking at political stances in America, do you expect like 36% of every system to be conservative and have conservative political views? If so, that's confusing, and I'm not entirely sure what on earth gave you that impression. But I will say that the political stances of alters in a system are frequently often influenced by their life experiences and the people they grew up around. The people in our system who tend to post on TikTok are leftists. That's true. The people that you mostly see posting on our account are leftists. But that does not account for the entire...
Well, I'm glad that she identified that they don't match up with the general population because they are a figment of your imagination, you dumbass. The reason that your alters or your systems are leftist is because it's all in your head. First of all, you don't have any. You don't have a split personality. There's no way all of these people on TikTok have DID. That is an extremely, extremely rare condition to the point that people go as far as to say that it's below 1%. It's just something that people saw in Hollywood films. Like, what's that? Is it called Glass? Or, you know, the one where he has multiple personalities and one of the personalities is the Beast. You know, have you ever seen the memes where he's like, oh, it's Patricia. Patricia's here now.
Is it that film called Split?
Split, that's it. People watched that film and they thought, yeah, this is me. It's not you. That condition is
He
so
was just,
rare.
Was he not schizophrenic?
No, there's
or bipolar or...
he had multiple schizophrenic. He had multiple personalities. That you people can't do that, okay? It's a film. It is a film.
1%.
1% of the population has DID. Of the global population, and you think all these people on TikTok have it. You must be insane.
System, there are absolutely people in the system who are not leftists. For example, Ajax is homophobic and transphobic, strongly. Locke doesn't have any political stances. To be fair, Locke is a robot, so that's not really surprising. But there are people in our system who do not share the political beliefs of the majority of the system. From what we've noticed in our system, at least, the alters who have been here since childhood, some of them tend to have the political beliefs and religious beliefs, for example, that we were raised with, which is not leftist beliefs. But people who have been in the system for a shorter amount of time tend to be more leftist because of the life experiences we've had throughout our life since childhood. There is no logical reason why alters in a system would exactly match the statistics of the general population in any aspect, because alters in a system are formed based on that system's experiences. I hope that makes sense to you. Have a good day.
I'm lost. I'm sorry. I don't know anything that's going on in this video.
If this girl has friends and you're watching this and you're watching her say that one of her personalities is homophobic and transphobic and the other one is a fucking robot, and you're not reporting her to the authorities to actually get help, you're an arsehole.
What, so she's saying she's got multiple personalities?
There's two people talking to us right now. It's right there. One of them is Spencer, he, him. The other one is Mantis, they, them.
Right, and then she also identifies as a bird.
A bird.
So it
Ajax.
just, this person clearly is mentally insane. If she's there saying she's got that disorder, that person would be
DID.
classed as mental health, right? Exactly. So yes, she's mentally ill.
If this individual had DID in the way that it is described, they would not be posting on TikTok like this. People that have DID are often quite dangerous because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's coming next. She is just out of her mind, but she's not out of her mind because she has DID. What I think it is a lot of these kids feel very lost, and they do these things like a coping mechanism. You know, when we used to go through phases when we were young, and it would be like we're
Bless you, Sabi. Oh, thank you, Michael.
Bless you, Sabi.
Thank you, Michael.
We would go through like phases where we might be like they call grungers or gothic or emo, and then you come out of it. I don't know what's happened now, but now people are taking on mental illnesses and wearing them as if it's a fashion trend. It's not a fashion trend, and it's also not funny.
This content is all over the place.
Let's do
like
one
there's
more.
literally like
A child's brain will come up with anything to protect itself, anything. And as that child gets older, their brain still knows how to use that as a coping mechanism. We have animal alters, we have fantasy creatures, we have robot alters, we have demons and angels. Every alter is here for a reason.
So she's just using escapism to feel better.
Better about what? What are you talking about? Do you have to disassociate from fantasy? You live in the real world. You are not a demon. You don't have demons possessing you. You do not have angels watching over you. You're just lost. And it's okay. Most of us growing up are lost. You'll find your way, but it will not be through pretending to be something that you're not. That will only come back to haunt you.
Well, she takes loads of meds.
Oh.
Wonder what they're for. Psych meds. So she is taking stuff for
We've seen
mental
enough.
state.
This girl is mentally unwell. She needs help, and everyone else that is going through what she's going through needs help. And just to be clear, what she's going through is not DID. She doesn't have DID. There's no way all of these TikTokers have DID. 1% of the population, and they're all on TikTok. No.
No.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Shambolic.
Shambolic.